G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. With all the guide content I'm putting out right now, I really wanted to do a drop spot guide because there's one strategy in particular that is so ridiculously broken right now that is getting people so many more wins and placing so highly, and a lot of pros are basing their drop spots off it, but not a lot of other people have learnt it yet. So I'm going to show you 4 drop spots today that abuse that strategy, and I'll get to it in a second, don't worry. And they're going to be based on how difficult to easy the drop spot is. So if you're a super advanced player, you're really good at fighting on spawn, you want those early eliminations, I've got the perfect drop spot for you. But also, if you're super passive, you don't want to fight as much, you're just getting into the game, or you really like to play passive for endgame, I've also got the perfect drop for you. Remember guys, if the guide content's helping you out, please chuck a like on the video, leave me a comment down below of any topic you want me to talk about, anything you're struggling with. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, it would mean so much to me. Now let's just jump into the secret that's going to make you such a better duo. Now, before I talk about the drop spots, I know what you're thinking. Aussie, what is this secret strategy? Now, it's getting an epic or legendary pump shotgun. Now, don't click off the video. I know how stupid that sounds. Obviously, everybody knows that if you have an epic or legendary pump, you're going to perform way better. But there was an update in the most recent patch that not a lot of people are talking about that massively increased the drop chance of epic and legendary pumps out of fishing holes. Specifically, when you use a harpoon or a regular fishing pole, not a blue fishing pole, because that increases your chance of getting other fish rather than getting the shotguns. So my drop spots today are going to revolve around either using fishing to guarantee you get a strong pump shotgun, or good spots where you can farm max material with a really good upgrade station and then good rotation. So if you want to play safer and guarantee you get a pump, you can use that early and mid game to farm one up so you're not taking fights that you don't need, and you will play so much more consistent. Because I like to cater to every skill set and drop style here, I've got 4 different spots that I'm going to be talking about today. After I talk about my favorite drop on the map, because honestly, it is so strong right now, it is perfect in every single way, then I'm going to talk about a super safe drop, a more medium risk drop spot, and then a really good drop if you're insane at fighting on spawn, but you still want to make it out with good loot and get good placement. But before I get to those, my favorite drop on the map right now, because it abuses both of the strategies I just talked about, is Stark Lake. Now, the reason why I love Stark Lake so much is because it has a lot of fishing holes, and it also has max of both materials with good vehicles and really easy rotations. If you don't want to take my word for why this drop spot is so good, it is where Booger and Avery are now going in their duo scrims, and they're some of the best duos in the world. They could have picked almost anywhere on the map to drop, and they picked Stark Lake. Let's show you how you're supposed to drop and play Stark Lake. Stark Lake is pretty simple to drop at, and it makes a lot of sense. All you want to do is have one player go to the big building on the northeast section, one player go into the building on the south section. If you go northeast, farm out as much metal as you can in the basement. Really try to max out on that metal, because that's the one material there's not a lot of around this area. You just want to loot the entire house and then start making your way more north. You're going to loot out the north house, and by this time, your teammate who is dropped on the south side should have looted their entire house and around their edge. Their loot path is a little bit faster though, so if you're the player dropping on the south, start fishing the fishing holes while you're waiting for your teammate to loot it up, and then meet back in the middle. I guarantee you should both have max material now. You should have guaranteed pumps from the fishing holes, and the other player who doesn't get a strong pump, you now have really good rotations to the upgrade station to your southeast. I'll show you on the map here where it is, which also has max material once you get there. So once you get there, you can upgrade your shotgun, refarm it back up, and now you both have guaranteed strong pumps. You can even use the rifts at Stark now to rotate anywhere that you want. Now remember also with this drop spot though, if you are contested, I would have both of you drop on the northeast main house, go through the little passageway into the basement. There is 2 chests down here and 5 floor spawns. Grab this. If you're a bit scuffed, fight your way up. If you've got really good loot, just rush up and get an easy elimination. This is by far the best way to play this drop.
If
if for whatever reason you're not a huge fan of Stark Lake or you want to have another drop spot, my second favorite duo spot in the entire game right now is Catty Corners. Catty Corners is actually better now that they removed the mythics out of it, because it's still such a ridiculous drop, but no one is going it. Now, there's two ways to play Catty. If you're contested, both of you should be dropping at the main building on the north, because you get more loot, you're going to get a decent amount of the nom spawns, and you're going to be able to control the tempo a lot more. You won't be contested very often though, and this is where people play Catty wrong. If you're uncontested, the best way to do this is to drop at the weather station. So have one player drop at the main building on the north, and then someone go weather station on the south, loot your way down together, and you'll actually reach each other at pretty much the exact same time. Now, something to note here, if you're uncontested, do not use any shield that you find that isn't food. There is enough food here to pretty much guarantee full shield for both players. You have all the noms in the shipping container on the north, you have all the nom spawns in the little building to the southwest, and you also have the nom spawns on top of the trailer on the north. So make sure you are not using any of your shield, because that's why this drop spot is so strong. Not only do you have maximum of every material after upgrading, you can literally both full grade shotguns and then refarm full material. You're going to get guaranteed peppers for mobility, and you're not going to have to use any of your shield that you find, because you can eat all your shield, which means you're going to walk away so ridiculously stacked. Now, if you get zone, what I would suggest as well is start working your way down towards Camp Cod. Start working your way across the bridge, because there is so much extra loot and material there as well. However, if you get a far north zone, you can actually make your way over towards retail and take the rift at the collector's area. Let's talk about our super safe drop now. This is for you players who maybe aren't as experienced, really don't want to fight on spawn. You're not going to get as insane loot. It'll still be really strong, but this is one of the best ways to guarantee placement points and making it to endgame. It's your Lighthouse and Holmely Hills split. Now, you're very, very, very rarely going to be contested here. If you are, you want to double drop on the main cluster of buildings on the east, get your loot. If you have good loot, I would go over and fight anyone who contested you, because they're going to get way worse loot. If you have bad loot though, you can now disengage back towards Craggy, towards the Flopper Island, and get way more loot. But like I said, you're almost never going to be contested. So if you're uncontested, have one player drop Lighthouse, one player drop the far east building, and then loot back together as you go. Once you get to where the rifts are, make sure you take the rifts together and start rotating south. However, if you get zone, this drop spot is so insanely good, because like I said, guaranteed getting a pump. If you have extra time, just go down to the coastline. There's so many fishing holes near you. You will guaranteed be able to fish up a strong pump if you're uncontested, and then you now have a great pump. You're going to have guaranteed full shield from all the fish, and now you can get ridiculous placements and destroy anyone when you finally take a fight with them. Also worth noting, the one material that in this drop spot is a little bit harder to get is the metal, but don't worry, there's a massive pile of cars on the northeast of the map right there towards the Flopper Island. If you go there, you're going to guarantee max metal for both your teammates as well. Now, my last drop spot for the video, which is one that I love so much. If you're good fighters, you like taking on-spawn fights, but you still really want to play consistently, you don't want to drop Stark Industries or any of the major POIs because they're just too much RNG. Honestly, the Ruins is such an insanely good drop spot if you're both good fighters, but how I see almost everybody play it, which is so wrong, is they start from the top down. They land at the top and they start fighting their way down. If you can both get to this little door here and try to either go through this same door or somewhere on the edge, that's why I don't have two perspectives, try to both get downstairs into the basement as quick as possible. You can control 9 chests this way almost instantly. You're going to get insane loot. You're going to have 3 shield barrels, which you can use together. You're going to have an upgrade station to fix up any shotguns that you want, and now you can make this a giant box fight. You have full control. You can get all the pieces, farm up all your mats, and then if you get good loot, rush them, destroy them. If you get bad loot, make them get impatient. You're in the center of the map. If you just sit here and wait for them to come down into your ambush of all the different areas that you have in the basement, you will absolutely destroy them. And now your center map, you have a whole bunch of fishing holes around you to guarantee, again, a good pump shotgun, or you have guaranteed full mats and you have now ruins control, so you can just upgrade your shotguns as well and then rotate whenever you want. It is the absolute best drop on the map right now if you're consistent, strong fighters and you like fighting off one or maybe two teams, because that's all you're really going to get contested by. Alright guys, that does it for another video. If you liked it, please chuck a like on the video. Again, let me know in the comment section down below any topics you want me to make a guide video on. I'm loving making this guide content again. Duos is back. It's so fresh. It's so fun. And I really think it is the best game mode for players to come up and pop off out of nowhere. So this is your chance. So make sure you're taking it seriously. Share this video with your duo partner so you can talk about your drop spots. Make sure they know how to drop it properly as well. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. It would mean so much to me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.